90.3 WHPC now presents Law You Should Know. The law affects every aspect of our lives, our home, our jobs, and our recreational activities. Now, learn about the law and how to protect yourself against the loss of your liberty or property, and learn how to stand up for your rights and seek compensation when you have been wronged. Your host for Law You Should Know is attorney Kenneth J. Landau, a past dean of the Nassau Academy of Law, and frequently lectures to lawyers on ethics and avoiding problems with clients, and to the public on how to choose and use lawyers. This is Law You Should Know on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hi, this is Ken Landau, and welcome to Law You Should Know. Today, our program is about how lawyers and others can use social media, and our guest is Jillian Weston. She's the president of the Social Media Association. Jillian, welcome to Law You Should Know.
Hi, Ken. Thank you so much for having me.
And I know that social media is a big topic for 2023, and you're going to tell our lawyer listeners and others how they can better use things like Twitter and social media and LinkedIn and email marketing in the year ahead. I do want to mention that you're the head of the Social Media Association, and you have your own company, Jillian's Circus, involved in digital marketing. Jillian, why is social media so important to lawyers and others as we are in 2023?
Yeah, so different lawyers have different goals, and some of those goals are either gaining more clients, helping them with whatever it is that they need. So many lawyers do things that are extremely important for us, right? So we do need to get in touch with them. And the only way for them to meet the masses or large numbers of people is through social media. So they're able to meet people who can work with them. They're able to do online networking. They're able to brand their law firms to get out there to more people. And really, it's all in an effort to be able to help and educate their clients.
And we're going to cover all those topics in the next few minutes. What are you referring to as social media? What's included under that umbrella?
Social media is any digital platform that includes a social aspect. So talking back and forth. That's why Facebook, Twitter, email marketing, you can sort of communicate through those platforms. So there's socializing.
And is this replacing old-fashioned socializing and networking and meeting someone at church or a library or a business meeting?
It definitely does not replace that at all. There's nothing better than looking someone in the eye and shaking their hand. However, you can only look a certain number of people in the eye and shake their hand in a day or a week. And so digital marketing kind of takes that and expands on it. You can meet more people, and you could also meet the networks of the people that you're meeting.
And you can meet people far away,
Correct.
Anywhere in the world or the country or Long Island for that matter.
Absolutely.
And what are some ways that lawyers and others can do that to take a first step?
Sure. The first step that I always tell people is really to post content. And a lot of people are afraid about posting themselves on social media. Most people are very nervous about that, but you don't always have to post yourself or just yourself. You certainly don't have to post what you're eating every day or where you're going. But if you go to a networking event, post the picture that they take from the networking event. If you have a business lunch, post that picture. If you do a seminar, post a picture of the seminar, or post that you're going to do a seminar to promote it. So there's definitely content that you can post that's professional and business related without giving too much personal information.
So it's like your news of the day.
Yeah.
And the next question, of course, is where and how do you post it in terms of a basic level?
I think for lawyers, most of them want to be on a more professional front, but it's really about who you're looking to attract. So if you're looking to attract a millennial who's between the ages of 27 and 41, then you might want to be on Instagram. If you're looking to attract a Gen X or a little bit of a baby boomer, then you might be on Facebook. Mostly Pinterest is for women. It's a 70% female audience. Twitter has more males than females, actually. So it's really about who are you looking to attract and where are they? And you should post where those people are.
And what if you're trying to reach baby boomers or the greatest generation if they're still with us? The people may need wills or estates or life care planning or something, or you're trying to reach their children or grandchildren.
Right. So life changers, I like to call them. So if you're reaching the people sort of who are coming out of that busy time in their lives where they're retiring, they're moving on to different things or becoming grandparents, things like that, then certainly Facebook, LinkedIn are great places to reach those people. If you're looking for people that are just entering into that life, people who are getting married, having kids, that sort of area, then you're kind of more in that millennial age. And then you're back to Twitter, sometimes TikTok, and Instagram.
Is there anything you would do through old-fashioned mail?
Yeah.
Tell them to check their email?
No, I believe that all marketing is important and helpful. It just comes down to time and money. Social media is the least expensive way to reach the largest number of people today. So if it comes down to time, money, etc., then social media is typically the option. All of the things I mentioned so far, they're physically free to use. There's no cost. It's just your time. So,
and we'll talk in a moment about how to get people to look at that and save it and perhaps respond to it, which are important. Because if you, just as if you sent them mail or some kind of print, you want them to save it and find it of value and retain that. And what about things like LinkedIn? How can a lawyer use that to promote themselves or the areas of practice they're trying to market?
On LinkedIn, it's great to expand on your current network. So the way LinkedIn works is you take somebody that you know already, and then they introduce you to all of the other people that that person knows. So if you're looking to expand your network, you can go onto LinkedIn, you can connect with the people that you're looking to connect with, and then you really want to start conversations with them. Hopefully those conversations go somewhere if you're doing the right messaging, but also you want to keep them in mind. So just as you were saying before, retaining information is very important. When you get a letter in the mail, you either read it and have action, or you read it and you tear it up and you throw it away. When you're connected with somebody on LinkedIn, every time you post, those people will see those posts, or at least they'll see a few of them. So they're reminded of you all of the time.
And you've got to keep posting so that your message comes out in the viewing area. Otherwise, it's going to be buried somewhere.
Correct. Yes. We recommend posting at least every 24 hours on LinkedIn. And that way it keeps feeding it. Not everybody sees every single post that you put out there, but LinkedIn about every 24 hours will take a post that you have already posted and take it out of the algorithms. And
of course, you want people to repost it.
Yeah, depending on what it is, certainly.
Now, how can you get your post to stand out in terms of graphic or the words or the information or the spacing, or give it extra value?
Visuals are really important. Videos do extremely well, but really showing your personality. People don't have to work as hard as they think they do to stand out. They stand out sort of on their own. Each person has their own perspective, their own brand. And especially with lawyers, that kind of comes across organically and naturally. They just have to post things. What is it that you want to say? What is it that you want to tell people? And then do that.
Is it best to have a one-paragraph message, 30 words or less, or to have a long article in there, or to make it relevant?
Articles do very well on LinkedIn specifically, but writing your own articles is better than sharing someone else's or using someone else's. Again, videos do very well. As far as the text is concerned, short is typically better unless you're telling a story. So lawyers are not allowed to share names or information, but they are allowed to tell stories of what happened to people. So telling stories is a great idea.
And you think people prefer a video to watch someone telling a story as opposed to reading about it?
I think that people don't read the words as much as we wish they would, and they really get caught when there's an interesting photo or an interesting video for them to watch.
Okay. And how do you make that video more interesting, especially if it's about a legal topic? Is the words, diagrams, it's like giving a speech to, just make it interesting?
My advice is to think about what questions are you asked all the time from your clients or from your network, or what came up in your day or your week or your month that was different or unique or interesting that you want to tell people about, and then create content around that. If people are asking you about it, then probably they want to know about it.
So if the question is, it's a new year approaching, should I change my will? Is it good to just focus on that and keep it to 1 minute and have a couple of concise points on things people should consider?
Yeah, you could do a video like that. You could bring someone on to talk about why they created a will with you. You could have a list, like a checklist.
And it's better to show that, as visual aids in the video.
Correct.
As opposed to words.
Yes, a visual or a video is better than just writing it.
And is it good to use the anchor approach, let's say, where someone asks you questions or vice versa, so there's two talking heads?
Yes, absolutely. The more people in the video or the picture, typically the better.
And it's good to put talking points or a summary at the bottom so they're inundated with the information and it's easier to follow.
Yep, you could absolutely put those points. Usually you want to have kind of a summary in the status or in the post, and then the video or the picture will tell the rest of the story.
And you're inviting people to pass it on.
If that's what you would like. It depends on what you're posting about, but yeah.
Well, you want to encourage that, right? So you're just not talking to them. They're sending it to 10 people, and those 10 people are sending it to 10 others.
If it's this discussion of education, then yes, certainly. If you're posting, when you went to a lunch or a business meeting, then you're not necessarily looking for people to repost it, but...
And for a lawyer, is it better to post information that someone can use, let's say, about wills or other things in line with the calendar, or is it better to post what you had for lunch?
It depends on who you are. There's some people that's part of their personality. They love food, they're foodies, and they want to share. They go to very nice restaurants.
And people like to follow it as well.
And they like to follow and they like to see it.
Okay.
If you're not that person, then don't do that because it's not part of your personality. Everything you do should be based on who you are, and and what you like and what you're doing in a day and what makes you comfortable to post. And you'll naturally come out of it. Your brand will naturally come out.
Okay. I just want to remind our listeners, we're talking to Jillian Wetson. She's the president of the Social Media Association. She's also the head of her own company, Jillian's Circus, a digital marketing firm. And as you can hear, she's very knowledgeable about this, and we're going to find out more about the Social Media Association in a moment. You're listening to Law You Should Know here on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College in Garden City, Long Island, New York. So, Jillian, just tell us about what plans you have as the president of the Social Media Association for the membership, which lawyers and others are welcome to join for the year ahead. What kind of seminars and support that you offer them?
Sure. So we're very excited here at the Social Media Association to be providing some unique talks and topics that are coming up. And they're going to be about all different things like Facebook Metaverse, what's happening with Twitter right now. There's new programs that are coming out like Mastodon and others. So we really would like to bring you like the latest social media news and trends that come out throughout the year because they change so frequently and it moves so quickly that it's difficult for people to kind of keep up on their own. But together as a community, we could share and we can discuss those developments as they come.
And as you've said, this is the way for professionals, for lawyers and others and students to share information, to obtain information, to show their expertise, and to answer general questions from their potential clients.
Yeah, I'm blessed to work for an agency, so we have a lot of people doing social media in the same room. So we get to talk and we get to discuss. But many people who do social media, they do it for a company or they freelance. So there aren't other people to really talk to about what's right or what's wrong or what's good or what's bad. And so with the Social Media Association, we're able to have that discussion together and learn together.
And this is something that lawyers need to do, whether it's a solo practitioner, a young person, an older attorney, regardless of the field, whether they're in a small office or a large law firm, they need to be engaged and engage in social media.
Absolutely. The research is just it's crazy. If you Google why be on social media, there's so many different pages and places where you could see the data. There's just so much research and data about how it helps your business, how it builds your business. The numbers are insane around social media and how it works and why it works. So I would encourage anybody who's questioning it just to do a quick Google, why should I do social media? And you'll see all of the numbers.
And it's almost like a conversation you might have with a colleague. This is what happened to me today. This was an interesting situation I dealt with. These are some of the ways I thought about it and what my final advice or resolution was. It's a way of sharing information and advice.
Absolutely. Educate and entertain.
Okay. And maybe for lawyers, it's important to entertain first and educate later, or combine the two.
I would combine the two. If you can educate through entertainment, people will listen to that much more.
So there might be lawyer jokes with a purpose. Yeah. Educational lawyer jokes.
I like lawyer jokes.
But some might be educational as well.
Exactly.
And let's just turn to email marketing. So how is that going to be different from some of the things you've been talking about?
Sure. Email marketing is more about, because you can't gain new people through email marketing the way you can search people on LinkedIn or Facebook. So this is a way that you could keep your current network updated. Many lawyers, they might meet somebody, but that person might not have that need right away. It's like a slip and fall attorney. You don't meet somebody who's slipped and fell right then and there. So you have to keep them updated, and you have to make sure that you're top of mind when they are ready to move forward or refer you. And so email marketing can help with that.
So describe the process. You're going to be on there, put them on your email mailing list to keep abreast about a certain area of law, so they realize you're on the cutting edge and your name will be in their mind when they finally need to use you?
Absolutely. I suggest having different email lists too. So you could have an email list for past clients. You could have an email list for potential clients. You could have an email list for certain professions. So like realtors can be in one list, or financial planners can be in another list. And that way you can kind of send information that's specific to each person or each group.
So let's take realtors, because that's something we can all relate to. What kind of information should they... It's good for them to get people to engage with them, to be on their email list. And what should they do in return to keep those people engaged, to convey the notion that they're a cutting-edge realtor? They'll use all the technology to get the best price for someone's house, or they're the go-to broker for people looking in a certain neighborhood. What are some things they could do?
Yeah, showing, not telling, is the best way to do it. So just posting, posting what they're doing, when they're doing it. So going to open houses, showing what price they sold something for versus what price it was listed, showing how they restaged a home, or how they just showing. A realtor's day is crazy. People think that they just kind of make a phone call and sell a house. That's not what happens. Their days are filled with all kinds of stuff. So just going through all of those different moments and sharing them, that's showing people what they do and how they do it. And people will innately see their value when they do that. And
you think today that a buyer or seller is going to look for that on the web somewhere to be impressed by that broker? Even before they meet them or call them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you're looking to, most people who don't network or who don't know a realtor or somebody that they could hire, the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to go online and they're going to look for people. But if you can educate and entertain people, especially the entertaining point, people are going to follow you just to be entertained. They're not even going to realize that they're following you as a marketing thing. And then once they have the need, you're going to be the first person on their mind and they will move forward.
Is that why they probably should have a well-behaved dog or cat in that house to engage that person who's watching the video?
Yes, animals always do well.
As opposed to kids running around and wrecking the place.
Children do well also.
Well-behaved children in the home video.
I think a child running around wrecking an entire house would do very well online.
Or maybe a child explaining why their house is fantastic.
Could do that too.
Okay. I just want to remind our listeners, we're talking with Jillian Weston, and she's the president of the Social Media Association, and she also is the head of Jillian Circus, a digital marketing company here on Long Island. and you're listening to Law You Should Know here on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College in Garden City, Long Island, New York. If you've missed any portion of this program, you can listen to the podcast or tell someone else about it at nccradio.org. So, Jillian, just tell us about some of the activities of the Social Media Association, how lawyers or other business owners or students can learn and engage with others through the Social Media Association to do some of the things you've mentioned in the program.
Yeah, the best thing for our membership are our events and our panel discussions. We have the best experts from all over New York and the country who come to talk about what they've done on social media, how they're using social media, and how others can use it as well. So taking part in those events are great. We do actually have a student membership, a special student membership. So anybody who's studying for social media or who wants to go into marketing, they can take advantage of that and put that on their resume. We also have a speaker. You can request a speaker for your own company or your event. So there's a lot of different ways that people can engage with our organization.
And for the students, it's not just a matter of putting on their resume. It's going to look better for them in an interview or trying to get an interview if they did all that. They engaged the association. Perhaps they helped run some of the events and networked with other people. So it's about another way they can promote themselves and get on help stand out from the pack.
Absolutely.
And is part of this about standing out from the pack, because, all the brokers are going to do what you said, all the lawyers are going to do what you said. How can they stand out on social media?
I really suggest taking your own personal likes and interests and using them to create content that is you and that is meaningful to you. And again, your natural brand is going to come out. So thinking about going back to the lunch, right? If you're somebody that goes to fancy restaurants and is a foodie, you should post that. If you're somebody that doesn't do that and would never do that, don't do that. So kind of working off of who you really are and what you're passionate about, putting that out there will go a long way.
And at the same time, how do you get across the point that you're the best service provider for whatever it is you're trying to sell while you're doing all that posting?
Show, don't tell. So just show why you're better, show what you do, show how you go above and beyond. If we go into that real estate realm, showing that you clean the house or showing that you rearrange landscaping or showing that you sit in your office till 6:00 at night and make phone calls, showing what you do that is above and beyond or that is unique or that is different goes a very long way.
So how can a lawyer do that?
Sure. Really the same thing, showing what you do for your clients, telling stories about what you have done, telling stories about their results. Again, you can't say their names or exactly their ages, but
is it good to educate
stories.
them a little bit about how you do it and what you do, how you're going to make them very comfortable, how you're going to take the anxiety out of it, how you're going to support them? You'll be responsive to their needs and concerns?
Yes, but again, going back to showing, not telling. So if you tell people, I listen, I take, I make you feel comfortable, people don't always.
So what's the way to show it? You're going to show a client relaxed, or you're going to use, little keywords in your presentation?
Testimonials are
Testimonials,
fantastic.
Okay.
So if you can get some of your clients to say it themselves, I felt comfortable in their office. They helped me figure out a situation. Whatever the case may be, testimonials is a great way to show that aspect of it.
And you think that works really any type of business? Testimonials.
Oh, yeah. Testimonials are excellent no matter what you do. Other people saying that you do a good job is much better than you saying.
And how can the viewer know they're true? Well, they're just going to assume they're true.
I mean, yeah, they just have to assume, I guess.
On the flip side, are there any things that lawyers and others should not do that are not effective or too corny or take away from their professionalism?
Yes. So things they should not do is on LinkedIn, if you've seen those very long messages that kind of list your what you do. So I do wills and I do trusts and I do this and I do that. Like just sending those messages right away. They should not do that. They should have more conversation, ask more questions. They should not avoid social media and be afraid of it, because then you won't be able to get any benefit at all. They should not be comparing themselves to others. So they shouldn't say, oh, this one has this or this one does that. How come I don't?
Also should be timely, like if there's something in the news, if it's a certain season, if it's a certain holiday, to focus on that and use it as a theme, because that's on everyone's mind.
Yes, definitely. Definitely use the seasons, definitely use the holidays to guide you. Absolutely.
And avoiding problems, is that something that people want to know about? If a lawyer is talking about avoiding problems with your estate, with your home sale, with a trust, with something else.
Yes, absolutely. How to avoid problems, definitely.
And I always like to tell lawyers to present themselves as a problem solver or problem preventer. So going along with what you say, that's really anyone should present themselves in that way on social media?
Absolutely. But again, telling stories or having testimonials is the best way to do that.
And we just have a moment or two left in the program. For someone who's interested in joining the Social Media Association, whether they're a student, a lawyer, or another professional, so they can learn from your speakers, from your exchanges, how can they find out more about you?
Sure. If you put the Social Media Association into Google, you'll find our website, you'll find our social media, links to our YouTube channel, everything. So just Google us, you'll find us.
And what are some of the things that they will learn in the months ahead from your speakers and your other programs, just in general?
In general, we're looking to really talk about what's happening in the now. So it's hard to know everything, because I believe that things will change over the next year. But again, our next talks are going to be about the metaverse. They're going to be about Twitter. They're going to be about some other new platforms. So things like that.
And if someone feels they're a little lost by some of these terms and the talk, they shouldn't be embarrassed, whether it's you or someone else in the group will be able to bring them up to speed.
Absolutely. Of course.
And just give us the group's contact information again, or your own, how someone can get in touch with you or them.
Again, I would just Google us and you can find our website, or you can find us on Instagram.
And just Google Social Media Association?
Yep.
Okay, I would like to thank Jillian Weston, the president of the Social Media Association, and also the head of Jillian's Circus, for bringing us up to speed on all these topics for lawyers and others. You're welcome to send this podcast or let someone else know about it. It's available at nccradio.org, and to contact the Social Media Association to learn about their upcoming programs in the year ahead of value to students, lawyers, and other professionals out there, because the world is now all about social media and we have to become part of it and learn from it and benefit from it. Please join us next week at the same time on Law You Should Know here on WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College in Garden City, New York.